Good morning, students. We are continuing our discussion on chapter 11, Akbar the Great. Till now, we have discussed about that how at the age of 13 Akbar became the Mughal emperor under the guidance of Bairam Khan. Then we have talked about Akbar's conquest or extension of empire. We have seen that how Akbar changed his policy to had a good friendly relationship with Rajputs. We talked about Akbar's administrative policies, where we have seen the central administration and the provincial administration, and also we have talked about the Akbar's revenue policy based on measurement of land and the production of land. We talked about Akbar's religious policy, one of the most secular ruler who ruled over India, and along with this we have talked about Akbar's policy of Din-e-Ilahi, a new kind of religion he promoted, or he wanted to promote universal brotherhood or peace among all the group of the society. Today we will focus on three other points which will prove that why do we call, or the historians call, Akbar as a great ruler of India. You will understand that Akbar's policies were so far equally implemented for all the sections of the society, for all the religious peoples, for all the common people, for their development. Today we will see that at first how Akbar's social policies or social reformations helped the common people. Along with that, art and architectures which developed during Akbar's reign. And most importantly, we will focus on the Navaratnas, or the 9 great personalities who were present at Akbar's court. First of all, social reforms headed by Akbar. You can see that first he prohibited the practice of sati in his empire. Sati was the practice where the wife of a dead person would be burnt alive along with the dead body of the person. This was practiced in Hindu religion. Akbar prohibited the practice of sati in his empire. He legalized the widow remarriage so that widows, especially Hindu widows, could have a good life again, and discouraged child marriage which was practiced in India. He discouraged it. He increased the legal age of marriage for girls to 14 and 16 for boys. Now it is 18 for girls and 21 for boys, but at that time Akbar legalized 14 and 16. Though Akbar was illiterate but was keen on promoting education, Akbar didn't get time to get proper education, but he supported education. He enforced the teachers during his time to teach the secular subjects like mathematics, agriculture, history, logic and astronomy. Logic is a part of philosophy. So these subjects, quite modern subjects, Akbar wanted to teach, and he forced the teachers to teach these subjects because it would help the students in their future. That's why. Next is that he set up a separate department for translation of Sanskrit texts like Vedas, Bhagavad Gita and other Hindu religious texts into Persian and Arabics. You can understand this was a great step by Akbar to popularize the old ancient Hindu Sanskrit texts among all the subjects. He translated these books into Persian and Arabics, because generally these books are considered as the compilation of knowledge about social life, knowledge about economic life, knowledge about moral values, and that's why he wanted to translate these books into Persian and Arabics. So these were the social reforms which prove that Akbar really was a great personality and a great ruler. Students, now we will discuss about the architectures which developed during the Akbar's reign. Different type of architectures developed during the Akbar's reign. Akbar composed a new style of architecture by combining Rajput style and the Islamic style. Among them, three most important architectures were, you can see this Buland Darwaza, which is situated in Fatehpur Sikri. To commemorate his victory over Gujarat, Akbar made this Buland Darwaza. Along with this, you can see the Panch Mahal, which is totally unique Indo-Persian architectural style, where he blended the Rajput style along with the Indian style of architecture. You can see this Panch Mahal, a unique composition, along with Jodhabai's Mahal, his Rajput wife. The Jodhabai Mahal replicates the original Rajput style. If you visit Jaipur or Rajasthan, you can find this kind of mahals there. But Akbar made it near Agra for his wife Jodhabai, and he respected the architectural styles of Rajputs or Hindu architectural styles. Let us discuss about Akbar's architectural style in detail. You can see that Akbar, he used Rajput style to build the city Fatehpur Sikri, which is situated in between Agra and Delhi, near Agra. Panch Mahal, I have shown you the picture. Jodhabai Palace and Buland Darwaza. He built Buland Darwaza to commemorate his victory over Gujarat. Most of these buildings were made of red sandstone. In picture you have already seen. Most unique style of architectures which were developed by Akbar. Now come to the literature part. During his rule, he encouraged Persian literature because Persian was the court language. Abul Fazl was one of the greatest Persian poets of Mughal period. In 1586, Akbar had asked Abul Fazl to write a detailed and accurate account of his reign. He wrote Akbarnama. Akbarnama is the biography of Akbar. It gives a great details about Akbar's rule, which was composed by Abul Fazl, the court poet or the Persian poet who was present in Akbar's court. Along with that, Birbal was the Kaviraj, and Tulsidas wrote Ramcharitmanas in Awadhi Hindi, or we can say translated the Ramayana of Valmiki in Awadhi Hindi, that is called Ramcharitmanas, during his rule. Music and painting. Akbar was fond of music and painting. Hindustani music touched the peak during this time because of one of the greatest musician of India, Tansen, the court musician. It was said that Tansen could bring rain by his raga called Megh Mallar, and along with certain other musicians. During the rule of Akbar, the Indian classical music developed. In the field of art, Mughal miniature painting hold a remarkable place in the history of Indian art, which started to develop during the Akbar's rule, and Akbar patronized a large number of artists and painters, and a school, means a new form of art, was created by this Mughal miniature painting. They mostly illustrated the manuscripts, which are called miniature paintings. That means along with the stories, they started to paint small size paintings to present or illustrate certain manuscripts. So a new style of art or painting developed during the rule of Akbar. Students, I already told you Akbar was fond of literature, art and architecture, and different kind of artistic activities. Though he was illiterate, but he had great respect for prominent persons who were related to art, literature, or in any other kind of fields of art. And that's why he patronized 9 prominent personalities from different section of the society or different fields of art, and from different religions also. He gave them proper respect and gave them proper facilities. These 9 gems were called Navaratnas, who were present at Akbar's court and increased the cultural heritage and benefited the Indian cultural heritage by their creations. We will discuss about these Navaratnas in details. Among them, first of all, most important was Birbal, was known for his gift of humor and wits. The stories of Akbar Birbal very popular. I hope that you have already read those jokes. So Birbal was the person who provided gesture, humor in the court of Akbar. And remember that he was a great friend of Akbar who advised Akbar in critical situations. Then Todarmal was a Rajput administrator, worked under Akbar, who was the expert in finance or economy, and that's why he introduced new land revenue system under Akbar. Then Tansen was the court singer of Akbar. He was also known as Geet Samrat. I already told that it is said that Tansen could bring rain with his ragas Megh Mallar. Along with Megh Mallar, many other ragas were created, and he enriched the Indian classical music. Abul Fazl was a great profound thinker and writer who wrote the biography of Akbar, Akbarnama, which gives a immense detail about Akbar's rule and his policies, and we come to know about every kind of steps which were taken by Akbar. Then Abdul Rahim was conferred the title of Khan-i-Khanan by Akbar. He was celebrated Hindi scholar and is remembered for Rahim Safsai, a collection of dohas or small poems in Hindi, and these are quite popular till now. Raja Man Singh was a great Rajput general of Akbar, defeated Maharana Pratap in the Battle of Haldighati. He got the place for his excellence in military expeditions. Faizi was a poet laureate of Akbar's court. He translated Lilavati into Persian. Faizi was immense talented person. He had confidence over many several languages, and he was a finest Persian poet. Fakir Azauddin was a mystic and chief advisor of in Akbar's court. Mystic means he was the follower of Sufism, a special wing, a special group of thinkers in Islam, and he was a chief advisor in Akbar's court related to religious confusions. Mullah Do Piazza was a scholar known for his ready wit, that means for humor, writings based on humor. So these were the 9 James who enlightened the court of Akbar, and Akbar respected them, provided them proper facilities, and that's why they enriched Indian culture.